श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वातरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुकारो अन्धकारो वैरुकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्या आचार्याय नचिकेतसे नमः राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे. We are in the 12th verse of Kaṭha Upaniṣad. 12th and 13th we will deal with once more. We already saw 12th, but I would like to say a few things more regarding the 12th verse. So we will see the 12th verse and 13th verse. I will read 12th and 13th together and we will proceed. नैव वाचा न मनसा प्राप्तुं शक्यः न चक्षुषा अस्ति इति ब्रुवतः अन्यत्र कथं तदुपलभ्यते. Once more I will read. नैव वाचा न मनसा प्राप्तुं शक्यः न चक्षुषा अस्ति इति ब्रुवतः अन्यत्र कथं तदुपलभ्यते. So we will read the 13 afterwards. A very beautiful words actually. That's why I want to connect with the two stock examples which Shankara used to say in his commentary. The meaning of this verse is simple. Through speech, in the mind, or in the eyes, the real self cannot manifest at all. That means you are not externally with mind. You are not going to communicate through words, whether you are a listener or you are a preacher regarding art. You cannot communicate. Something which is formless, something which is very subtle, something which is individual, cannot be objectified. It is not subject to understand any other ways except asti iti bruvataha. I exist. I am asti. Aham asmi. Aham bhami. I exist and I realize I am existing. This is the only way of understanding Atma. Asti iti bruvataha anyatra katham tat upadapte. other than in which way, how it can be understood. Even this understood can be mistaken. Any understanding means it's limited. Suppose I have a pot in my hand, and you can understand that I have a pot in my hand means I am limited, the pot is limited. Any object which is limited can only cognized by mind. Cognition is only possible when things are limited. Something which is unlimited, something which is formless, incognizable. You cannot assume or imagine, you cannot visualize something which is unlimited and formless. Then how can I communicate? Only way that I am Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi, you are that. No other way. No other way. Ahamasmi Aham Bhami. The old doors are closed now for an inquiry because direct perception is not possible, inference is not possible, analogy is not possible, presumption is not possible, absence of something is also being as a means of knowledge, it is also not possible. Pancha pramanani vyartham eva atma vishaye. All five means of knowledge are futile, useless when it comes to the atma vishayam, becoming atma to be known. There is no external pramanas. All these things I told in a different way in the last class. Only way to understand Atman is one pramanam, Shabdam, Shruti. Shruti means Vedic text like Upanishads, Vedantas, some other treatise, etc., etc., and also traditional teaching of this Vedic text. That's why it's called Shabda Pramanam or Shabda Pramanam. This will not fall under these five pramanas: direct perception, inference, analogy, presumption, or absence of something, anupalabdhi. So, only means to understand Atman is to go and study under a traditional teacher. They will reveal which is out of speech, which is beyond perception, which is beyond imagination. What will be the benefit, Swamiji, if I go and listen to a traditional teacher? A direct question may come towards me. That will be the end of all our worries and insecurities. In one word, if I can say, that will be the end of all our insecurities, all our worries, all our issues regarding physical plane, mental plane, and also regarding psychological plane. We are all facing different issues in three planes. Sharirika kleshani, manasika kleshani, physical worries, mental worries, psychological issues also. Occasionally it appears. Manoroga kleshani. which is occasion, but it's a very severe thing. Everything be going, will depart after listening the traditional teacher's voice. So Upanishads will reveal what is self. There is no other way. Shankara gives very beautiful examples in his commentaries. One is Deshamaha Tvam Asi. You are the 10th man. The story is very simple. 10 fellows began to cross a river. One leader and 9 others. It has big current. They are all crossing. After crossing the river, the leader counted the whole group. He's only getting 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Again, he count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Somebody is crossing in the opposite direction, far away. He came to know the drama and he was shouting from there, "You are the 10th man. Don't be fool. You count yourself also. Then only you will get the whole numbers." Deshamaha Tomasi. This is the whole story of Vedanta also. If you go out for searching Lord or the infallible Atman, there will be no way of finding it. If you come to know, in spite of my all body issues, in spite of my all setup, physical setup, it can be glorified, it can be condemned. My setups can be glorified by few people. My life can be condemned by few people. Leave it. It's for them. They can eat, they can chew, they can swallow, they can spit. My life is only with me. They are just seeing what is outside and they are judging me from outside. Let it be. In spite of all my 3 bodies, Sthula, Stushma, Karana, Sharireshu, Atma, Vidirikta. It's free from all 3 bodies. Panchakoshad Vidirikta. 5 sheets of these 3 bodies. Tristu, Trishu Avasthashu Vidirikta. Free from all 3 states like waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. I am witness. I am the witness of all these things which I have mentioned you. I am the witness of this physical body. I am the witness of this mind. I am the witness of these 3 states. I am the witness of these 5 sheets of 3 bodies. The witness is not being inquired by anybody. They are all inquiring about the physical body or the mental body. One who is aware of, I am having a physical body. This is what also Vedanta talks. This is what that man who was crossing in the opposite direction shouted towards the guy who was counting up to 9. Deshamaha, the 10th man is you. You don't inquire outside. You don't want to go to Kailasa to see the God. You don't want to go to Ayodhya to see the real Ram. It's all pending understanding. I will give you in the next verse. The ultimate truth, the secret is one who is residing inside this world and inside this body. That person is not to be inquired, only to be understood properly. There is no inquiry of on an accomplished entity. Inquiry can only be possible when something is not in front of you. Inquiry is not the way. Understanding which is already mistaken. Thus, Atmajnana Vishaye Shastram Eva Praman. Thus, Upanishads reveals our own intrinsic nature. Thus, an accomplished thing will become again as though accomplished. Atmajnanavan bhavati. I got the knowledge about oneself. I already know that I am something like body, mind, sense complex. That correction has been done. That mistake has been gone. Thus, I am this self which is eternal, which is ever pure, which is free from limitations, which is the source of all happiness. I am this Atma. After knowing this, the person will not inquire outside for the Lord. Katham tadupalabhyate. How can you establish yourself other than like this? This is the only way. So the key words are this in this verse. The Shruti, Shabdam is the only means for understanding self. That means listening the Upanishads from a traditional teacher is the only way to understand oneself. And the second example, when I keep specs in my head, my friend comes, that time only I kept my specs in my head and I was talking. When he go back from my house, I start searching of my specs, where I kept my keep my specs. This inquiry go on and on unless the wife informs you, hey, your specs is in your head. Similarly, this is also an example given by Shankara or another traditional teacher in our tradition, a very beautiful way, because you may think in that time specs were there in Shankara's time. Shankara is a foreseer. He will quote all examples which are going to come also. In Mandukya Karika, he gives an example about the chicken. One part of chicken is used to cook and eat. One part of the chicken is kept alive for laying eggs. On that time, chicken may be a meat, or we give the whole credit to Shankara, benefit of doubt. Shankara is a foreseer. Upcoming things also he will quote. Example should have only one rule. It should be familiar. It should be familiar, something familiar even for an ordinary person. Then it's an example. Something which is remote will not become an example. something which is hiding in the Himalayas. I cannot quote as an example, but specs, universal, mobile being there, eye issue is a universal problem. Even if you don't have by birth, you will invite the issues. You know, people buy mobile according to their budget. When you buy budget friendly mobile, the issue is, budget friendly mobiles will have a screen which will radiate a lot, like Chinese mobiles or some other mobiles. From 1000 rupees onwards, Android mobiles are available. I'm just talking something to be corrected in our mind. You should buy something good and branded one, even if you spend some money on mobile. It not to show to somebody. The radiation can be less. When you buy a branded something, a friendly mobile, your something which is less price and everything, the radiation can be more. The screen will not be conducive for our eyes. So better to spend money in mobile than spending money for the doctor. Let's keep aside. So your wife mentioned you, remembered you, recognized, made you recognize your specs is in your head. That made you to regain your specs to read your newspaper. Similarly, I am worrying all my I am subject to worries in all my life. I am disturbed all my life. Lot of responsibilities on my shoulders. Right from the childhood, lot of rules and regulations in the society. All these things I am following, and I made my sense that I am a human being more and more strong. Thus, the Upanishad comes in your life due to your some prarabdha, some karma which you have done in the previous life or in this life, something good, some seva for your teacher, it's a big karma, or some good things in the life. Upanishads comes into your life. They reveal the truth. You are not husband, you are not son, you are not a girlfriend, you are not a man, you are not a tall guy, you are not a short woman. That's all body features which are limited. You are beyond some that. You are Satchit Anandam, eternal consciousness, unlimited, delightful consciousness, the source of all happiness. Why should you worry about the body limitations? It is just a role comes and goes. You are a son. That role come when you got a birth in this world for these respective parents. When they pass away, you are not a son at all. Generation will not know that you are a son of this guy or that woman. All these things are just incidental. Upanishad says, what is intrinsic? You are eternal consciousness, Brahman, never die, never subject to birth. Thus, all the things comes to an end. This is the only way to understand I am the consciousness which is eternal. This was the gist of 12th verse. So two examples I didn't mention properly. That's why I want to take. Now come to the 13, which is connected with this. Asti ityeva upalabdhavyah tattvabhavena cha upayoho. asti ityeva upanabdhasya tattvabhavah prasidati. Once more I will read. Asti ityeva upadabdhavyah tattvabhavena cha upayoho. Asti ityeva upanabdhasya tattvabhavah prasidati. Two types of understandings in the pursuit of Atma. One is basic, other is ultimate. Creator is being introduced in each and every religion. Everybody have creator, Srishtikarta, Lord. Thus, we are all familiar with our religion and the lords to our respective religions. When you give a form and a name for the creator, this is called Saguna Brahma Upasana. Some features you add to the creator. Like when pot is available for the perception, the claim being the cause of the pot. Clay is everywhere in the pot. We don't find out the clay, but we only respect the clay through pot. Clay being the main subject, main ingredient of a pot, for the survival of the pot, clay is important. We run a pot, everything, whatever we do is indirectly to the clay only it will go. The clay is the glory of the pot. But from the childhood onwards, I'm not aware of the clay, but I am aware of the pot. Even somebody will say, please don't break the pot. It is antique. I bought from Jaipur. I bought from Kamakya, Assam. Or I bought from Rameshwaram. Please don't break this pot. It's a memory of my visit to this pilgrimage. So people will say, pot have the importance in our empirical life, not for the clay. Clay being the main ingredient who play the whole role of pot, we are not familiar that clay should be valued. This is called Saguna Brahma Upasana. We add some features for the thing and we enjoy that thing. Big pot, small pot, big bellied pot, small bellied pot, a, a pot having big mouth, a pot having small mouth, a pot in red color, a pot in white color, a pot having 3 different holes in the top. All these features are called Saguna Brahma, attributes in order to glorify something. Really speaking, any attribute is for the sake of understanding of the mind. Mind can easily pick up the things if you give some attributes. Among a group of people, who is Devadatta in this group? My friend asked me, and I say, The person who is wearing a green shirt and a white pant is Devadatta. Devadatta didn't born with a green shirt and white pant. We all know that. You don't have Kavacha Kuntalam. You don't have white pants and green shirt all his life. In order to identify, it's very easy when you give some attributes for the person. We all identify the things by giving some attributes of added features so that it is very easily familiar for our mind. Similarly, the formless Brahman cannot be identified by the mind. The formless Brahman is not easy to grasp by our daily life. By the mind is going towards all names and forms in our daily life. For the understanding of the mind, we add some features. Sarangapani, actually Shargapani, a device which we which we see in the hands of Lord Vishnu, Shargam. Shrivakshasam, Shrivatsan, one who having Mahalakshmi in his chest is called Shrivatsaha, Lord Vishnu. Mashanavasi, Lord Shiva, one who lives in the burial, an added feature. Weird features, correct? One who live in the burial ground, etc., etc. It's all representation. I will give you when there is a time comes, all these things. For the time being. Vajrahastaha, one who hold the thunderbolt in his hand, Indra, Purandaraha. Naga Yajñopavidinaha. Yajñopavidam means a genuine thread. One who has, snake has his genuine thread. Naga Yajñopavidinam. Vyagra Jarmotayam. One who wear elephant skin as his cloth. These are all features, attributes. A creator is introduced for the mind in order to grasp easily. All these things are called Saguna Brahma Upasana, meditation upon the creator with some features. This is what here, Asti iti upanabdavyaha. One who understands, one who realizes that Creator is in this form, in the form of Jesus, in the form of Allah, in the form of Mahavishnu, whatever it may be our religion. One who understands. This is called pending understanding, in the words of Pujya Swami Dayananda. A pending understanding about the reality. It is going to be a fruit. Now it's a flower. In the process, proceeding in the right path. You meditate upon something which has having name and form. Saguna Brahma Upasana. You understand the things in the way studying again and again and again with your traditional teacher. And you came to know that the formless entity is only invoked in a form in a deity, a form, in a form, a deity. Like the pot is a form entity, an entity, a form, name and form. The clay, which is formless, is invoked. Nor in our being, clay doesn't have any form. Formless clay is invoked in the pot. A formless clay is invoked in a pot. So, in order to see the clay, you need not to break the pot. You can see the clay if you have the vision, even in the pot. You can see the Lord everywhere, even in a prostitute, even in a pig. If you have the vision, you see the right thing in anything. The intrinsic part of anything is this Brahman. So understand the logic which is presented by the Lord Death in this verse. You have to give up the formless clay. You have to give up the form, the pot which is completely pervaded by the clay. Pot is also not advisable as Brahman. Clay is not also advisable as Brahman. Saguna Brahma Upasana tu tektavyaha. Nirguna Brahma Upasana tu tektavyaha. Both are to be given. Why? Both are having some limitations. For the sake of understanding, we say some features added to the entity. After that, we take away the features and see the entity. Still, we are missing the obvious. How one who realizes both, that consciousness is Brahman. It's not that I am formless Brahman. Om, Om, Om. That meditation will not help you. Tattva bhavena asti ityeva upanabdasya. One who understand properly, I am that Brahman, which is in the form of universe, which is in the form of body, which is in the formless entity, which is in in a nature of formless entity, and one who thinks all these things, that consciousness, that asti ityeva, I am this consciousness. One who give up all this meditation on the featured entity, which is unfeatured, no features at all, Nirguna Brahma Upasakaha, both are samsaric. One who know, but it's a pending understanding. That's the only way to understand. You should not stuck with that meditation of having one form. One who give up Nirguna Upasana, one who give up Sakuna Upasana, meditation on the features, who having an entity having features, meditation on the entity without having any features. Meditation is only possible when something is not available. When something is already accomplished, there is no meditation. There is only establishing. I am evident for me. Something which is evident for me, I need not to meditate on that. Meditation is for taking care of all my limitations. I am not against any meditation. When you are very active, hyperactive, you do this work, you do that work, you have a lot of social responsibilities, family responsibility, you have certain badges in your company, you are hyperactive. Actions, karma, will bring back to this world again and again with several births. So you need to make it less from that activities. So slowly you start meditation, like putting some washing powder on the paint which you are having in your clothes. After putting the washing powder, you wash both. Impurity should also go. The washing powder which you used to wash should also go. Similarly, hyperactivity, in order to stop the hyperactivity, I should meditate. Then I become a little bit slower and I should give up the meditation also. I establish myself without closing the eyes, even closing the eyes, that I am this Brahman. I need not to achieve anything from this world. I need not to give up anything from my body in order to become Brahman. My character is not mine. It belongs to my vasanas and my body. I'm not bothered about. I can continue with whom I am, but understanding about one's self is the important factor. And giving up all these upasanas like sadhus, one who realized the Brahman will not go to temple often. They realize that everything is Lord and they are sitting in that consciousness. They don't have body awareness. That's why when you come to India, you see certain people without having any dress. For other religion, it's absurd, you know. One who talk about culture and they are not wearing any dress. When you lose your body consciousness, you don't wear anything. As long as you have the consciousness that I am a man, I am a woman, my hair are like this, my ears are like this, I have some organs in my body, heart, etc. Then you wear the clothes. When you understand, I am this Brahman, I am not this body. I don't have any body. I am Brahman, which is mistaken as body. You are firm with your understanding. Then there is no clothes. So that you will wear clothes. Nothing wrong on it. To make them understand is a big thing. They don't want to listen the right way. They are not interested also to understand why. After talking about the genius, very very much genius about their culture, and they are they are roaming around with nude. So I have to connect all these things. Now, the whole understanding should be like this regarding this man, slogan. Lord Death says to Nachiketas, Saguna Brahma Upasana, having an understanding about the Creator and the Lord with some features, one should give up. Having some understanding that formless entity is the creator of this creation, that should also one should give up. And what should one do? I am the self-evident Atman self. Stay on that. That all-pervading entity is me, that consciousness. I am not Saguna Brahmopasana Vastu. I am not Nirguna Brahmopasana Vastu. Because all are secondary. I am talking about whom I am. So this is the way of understanding tattva bhavena as it is. Tattva means as it is. Something you know as it is called tattva. Tattva bodham. Understanding something as it is. Tattva vijnanam. Understanding about oneself as it is, not other way. So tattva jnanena, tattva bhavena. Understanding this creation and the creator as it is, that the consciousness who is the witness of everything without any changes, even though a lot of changes occurring in my body and mind, all these changes are being witnessed by somebody. That person, that entity is the creator of the entire universe. And I am that real intrinsic self. This is the way of understanding the Atman. There is no inquiry after this. Understand? Inquiry starts when you are a householder, when you are under pressure of somebody, when you want to get rid of an affair, you start inquiry of spirituality. You know, these are all finished now. The last step given by the Lord there. Understand that Atman is not something externally to be inquired. Atman is something Sakshi Chaitanyam in Sanskrit, which is effulgent in the form of witness, who knows everything going outside. And may one practice the thing. You need not to correct anybody. You need not to put pressure in your children or wife to behave in different way. You need not to put pressure in the society. You need not to correct even your dog. You are the witness of the entire universe. When you practice, you are the witness, that way of understanding. Nobody is going to become a enemy for you because you don't react to anybody. They can act anyway. They can behave anyway. You are the witness of the entire drama. This is what we get from the real traditional teachers. They don't tell you to correct yourself. They just witness. They are witness of everything. It is not that they don't have the capacity to understand whatever things I have done in my life. They don't want to reveal. They don't want to analyze. They don't want to correct you. The correction, ultimate correction is this: you are that Brahman. That knowledge should correct every portion of your life. If didn't correct, no other way in your life to correct. That's all. This is the only way to correct. Anyway, tattva bhavena prasidati. The person will be more closer if he understand as it is this Brahman. This is the whole meaning of this verse. I will give one more, the gist of this verse once more. The way of understanding the reality in the beginning with some features, the way of understanding the reality after a length of time without having any features, both are should be given up, because understanding is a limitation for the mind. Anything, if you say I understood, means it's limited. Something which is unlimited, which is eternal, will not be an object for the understanding. One should realize, one should recognize that I am beyond Saguna Brahma, and also I am beyond the Nirguna Brahma too. There is no understanding. There is only recognition that I am the witness. I am the cause of this whole universe. Thus, if one comes to know, he is more closer to the truth. This is the gist of this verse. Now I will read the next verse, and 2 minutes I will talk and we will conclude. यदा सर्वे प्रमुच्यन्ते कामाः ये अस्य हृदि स्थिताः अतः मर्त्यो अमृतः भवति अत्र ब्रह्म समश्नुते. Once more. यदा सर्वे प्रमुच्यन्ते कामाः ये अस्य हृदि स्थिताः अथ मर्त्यः अमृतः भवति अत्र ब्रह्म समश्नुते. Samashnude. This verb have different meanings. The needed meaning for this context is he accomplishes, he establishes that he confirms himself as Brahman. Brahma Samashnude. He confirms that he is Brahman. When when a person come to know the entire teaching of the Kaṭha Upaniṣad is talking about one single entity which is the witness of all the listener. In fact, the listener is the witness. One who comes to know, according to the previous verse, according to that penultimate verse, one who comes to know, he will he will release us all the desires which are clinching inside his mind regarding the external world. I want to get married. I want to experience this. I want to buy a bangle. I want to get a government job. I want to go to Montenegro. I want to go to see the Grand Canyon. I have to witness certain Arctic aurora in my life. I should marry a person from outside my country. I should get a mature woman in my life. I should make a beautiful house. Different desires. Ananto Vaikama. Veda states like this. Endless. Desires are endless. Even if you fulfill one desire, 100 desires particular regarding this particular fulfillment, it will go. It is there now. If you eat one paniyaram means a white like pancake, which you will get in South India. Then paniyaram is in different state now. Sweet paniyaram, pal paniyaram, carrot paniyaram, beetroot paniyaram, and you want to eat different cakes. Paniyaram traditionally one, but according to the generation, this homely food is a branded food now. It's at the top of the table of every hotel. Paniyaram is available. Fine. So desires are many. These desires get released from the heart because you achieved the best thing in your life. You don't have more desires to buy a balloon and play in the ground because you achieved the ultimate thing in your life. When you achieve the ultimate thing in your life, all the things will come under that only. To buy a balloon, to buy a bike, to have children, to have a wife, all these desires will get immediately released from the heart of a person who establishes Brahman as it is told in this Upanishad. Hridishrataha kamaha pramuchyante, sarve pramuchyante. Everything will get released. What is the result after this releasing? Then only the person will become immortal. If not, there is a birth waiting for him to fulfill his desires. That's why Ataha, Anantaram, after that, Martyaha, the human being who enlightened, as it is told in this Upanishad. Amritaha bhavanti, become immortal, eternal, without having death and birth. Bhavati. And he re-establishes, he confirms himself that he is Brahman Samashnute. This is the meaning, simple meaning. That's why I will take only 3 minutes, I told you. We will conclude now. We will start with the new verse in the next class. More 3 verses or 4 verses. We will, we will conclude the Kaṭha Upaniṣad. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayandam Yayena Margena Mahimmahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shupamastu Nityam Loga Samasta Sugino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Choparahitaha Brahma Santanabhayaha Sarve Bhavantu Suginaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhabhag Bhavet Sato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Namaste all of you, Rajit.